Hello guys, just going to do a quick audio test. Hello guys, welcome to Motorsport Manager. I'm just in the settings page at the moment as it needs to be in windowed mode first of all, before I can really do anything. It has to be in windowed mode before I can do much at the moment. So, just change that a minute. And yeah, so we're here on Motorsport Manager, and I just want to show you guys, before we start, the straw poll results. Now, I think a few people have actually voted, and for some reason it didn't appear. I did ask a few people to watch the video, and I saw them vote, and it didn't go through on the straw poll, one of the votes. But I know what those votes are, so I'm going to add an extra one to that number. It doesn't actually affect the results, weirdly enough. But here are the results. So in terms of what series shall I enter, the extra vote was for GT Challenger, so we'll put that up to 3. But we can still see GT Challenger was the winner anyway. And then in terms of what team, the extra vote was for a team in the middle, but again, that already won, so it didn't actually matter. So we're going to be doing a GT Challenger, which is the lower level GT series. It was called something slightly different because I messed it up, but that's what we're doing today. The Motorsport Manager game capture, I'm just going to have to get that working quickly, sorry guys. I remember I have to open the app for it to work. There we go, it's working now. Perfect. So we're here. You guys won't see the very top of the screen because we've got the overlay there. If you guys want a link to this mod, it is down in the description of the video. It was requested by the mod authors in the manual that I do that. It is requested. If you use this in a video, it is advised to do that. You should. But without further ado, then let's get into actually deciding what on earth we're going to do here. So I don't want a tutorial. We're going to do medium length. Obviously, make sure that the Fire Fantasy 20 mod is turned on. Obviously, that's very important. We'll probably be streaming for about 2 hours now. I don't really know how long. And at the top, I'm not sure what to put. I might put what. Do you guys want me to put what track it is, or do you guys want me to put what round it is? I'm a bit undecided on that. But anyway, we'll get started here. So just check the desktop audio is working. It is fine. Oh, I left the background music on. Let's get that turned off. Okay, so this is it then. We're getting started in medium. Gonna use British pounds. And we'll use that date format, and obviously it auto saves, which is very important. We'll click continue. We'll let it load everything in. It will take a little bit of time to load, not too long. Obviously our name is going to be Mad Chili the manager. We're going to be I think an ex-driver might be a good idea. I think we'll do ex-driver. I quite like that. Hairstyle. Oh, how about that? That's a bit funny. I don't want a beard. Okay. And maybe some ginger hair. There we go. And some massive glasses. Are there any, like, silly-looking glasses? Oh. Okay, we'll stick with glasses number 2 then. Date of birth, we'll just change that back so he's a little bit older, a bit more like manager, typical manager age. Just randomly scroll through the numbers. What should we get? Okay, 20th of... I don't actually know. Rep. January, March. January, February, March, April. It's May. There we go. You guys probably think I'm just dumb now. UK. And we'll go ahead and click continue on here. We're going to choose a team. And you guys voted for GT Challenger, which that was for the 19 mod. In the 20 mod, it's called GT Cup. So we'll do GT Cup. And don't look at the rules quickly. So we have short practice, short qualifying, 31 lap races on average. We can... Okay, so pit stops are semi-sequential. Standard merit payments. Points for the top 10 like in F1. Normal slick tyres. We're using Pirelli tyres. Tyre compounds are decided by the FIA. Two different... and we can also choose 15 tyres. There's only a real safety car, no refueling. Driver aids are banned. We had a rolling start, and qualifying decides the grid. That's perfectly normal rules, really. It's quite nice to have no refueling. It can change the strategy if you have refueling, but it doesn't really matter. We'll go ahead and click continue then, and we're looking for a team in the middle. That's what you guys voted for. So we'll have a quick look. How many... This looks like there's 12 teams. So we'll try and maybe pick whoever's expected to finish 7th or 6th. We've got Toyota, we could pick. We've got Nismo. That's like Nissan. That's a cool looking car, actually. And we could also go for 5th. Is anyone in chat? I don't think there is, actually. So I think we're going to go for 6th place. Bang in the middle, like you guys requested. Exactly in the middle. We have... a very nice headquarters, not the best car. So we could do it based on car performance. We could do it. I don't know. I'm happy with Nissan Nismo. I'd quite like to do Nismo Nissan. So this will be in the middle of the pack. We're gonna do. It's a GTR. We've got the Nissan GTR. Lovely looking thing there. So we'll go ahead and click continue then. So we will be managing Nissan. I'll just change the overlay once we get into this, so I can change it either to what round. Actually, no, I'll change it to what the track is, because it's a lot better. Because I can't put both, because there's no space. I can't put both the round and there's physically not any space for that. So it's just saving a minute. We'll let it do that. There we go. Let it save and get on with it. Audio's working offline, which is good. I'm just waiting for it. I don't know what it's that. Game failed to save. That's because nothing's happened yet, probably. We'll try advancing a day then and seeing if we can save. I don't know why there'd be a fail with the save. We'll try advancing a few days if it fails to save this time. Yeah. Okay, we'll sort that out then, I guess, when we get into it. So pit crew, I also like to put them on auto manage. Personally, we actually have a really good guy. Actually, so I think auto manage pit crew would actually benefit us. Level 17 on pit stops. That's pretty good. So to auto manage that would be really nice. We'll hire a couple of new recruits. It's GR, yeah. The GTR is a really nice car. Gotta say that's another reason why I picked them. They just so happen to be in the middle, really, as well. So it's quite nice. Right, let's have a look at what we've been sent here. So we've got a few. Got two. This guy hasn't actually got a picture. But our other two, we've got Ronnie Quintarelli and Daiki Sasaki. There are two drivers. May mess up the pronunciation a touch there. Report on the drivers. They're average in GT Cup. One of the better drivers in GT Cup. So we're doing pretty good, actually. But none of them have a huge amount of potential, sadly. We were estimated to finish 6th. But I'm tempted to go for 10th just to make sure we're not sacked in our first season. I always like to play it very safe in Motorsport Manager. At the start, how much do we lose per race? This is quite an important decider. So right now we're losing 845,000 per race, and this will pay us $1 million per race. So we can actually pick 10th and still make money. So I'm going to go with 10th for now. I'll probably pick a much better team goal in Season 2. I just like to make it I don't like to go too crazy at the start. I like it to be quite, just conservative, sensible, because I don't want to go messing anything up. Okay, I think we may have an issue here, unfortunately, with our save. I think we may have an issue here, because it keeps saying it's failing to save. Oh, no, it saved correctly. We're okay, it just takes an age to save for some reason. If I try saving it again, will it be quicker? No. Okay, so it looks like whenever we do save it, we're going to have to wait a good bit of time. It could be maybe something, it's like a side effect of the mod, possibly, but at least it didn't fail, so, because normally it's a lot quicker than this to save. You guys can't even see I'm saving it, actually, because at the top, the overlay covers it, but as long as it's doing it okay, we should be safe. So yeah, 10th, it should require not much in the way of work, 10th, but that's how I kind of want it. For the start. We could upgrade a number of buildings, but we've only got 2.2 million, so, I mean, first of all, let's check sponsors. We have got a few sponsor deals. We'll have to wait for them to open up. So, I haven't really played this game in quite a while, so I might make a few bad decisions and things. Looks like we're starting off with some really nice performance reliability. So, reliability won't be an issue for us, as it sometimes is in the first race. So, we'll try improving the, how will improve these? We'll improve the performance a little bit of the engine. Actually, because, may as well get the most out of the car as we can for now. Yeah, drivers are third best on the grid, actually, so we've got pretty lucky with our drivers. In terms of our 3 drivers, looks like this guy is nowhere near as good as the other 2. They've got plenty of time left on their contract, actually, which is really nice. I'll renew the reserve driver. Actually, no, we'll wait to renew the reserve driver just in case we find out we'd like a new driver. I want to wait and see how much money we make and how much money we lose before I start doing anything. Money for next year's car, I like to keep it at medium unless we start losing money. Although maybe it's bad luck saving £666,000 per race. Maybe that's a bit of bad luck, but, never mind. Right, onwards we go then. And we'll just see what we can get from this. Got an interview with NBC. Obviously, they're all like real life news things because we're using the mod. It's a massive game changer, this mod. Next one is the Dubai GP. So I'll just change that quickly. I'll see if I can put Dubai as well. Could that fit or no? I don't think that fits. Honestly. That honestly doesn't fit, does it? We'll just put round 1 of 8, I think. It's better then, because it's guaranteed to fit then, no matter how long the place name is. If you've got a really long country name, like the Black Sea GP, it might end up running off the end anyway. I believe we have 8 rounds. I believe so. We'll accept an interview. This plays your new home, but isn't the best team in the GT Cup. We'll say something like that. That's going to, obviously, improving driver morale. It's like Football Manager. It's very important. Something like Daike Sasaki. I'm going to have trouble saying that name. We'll just call him Sasaki from now on, so I don't have to bother with his first name. Do we agree with that? Obviously, it's nice to say that they're both good. That's what gets the most morale. In NBC, I wrote that you're expected to finish 6th. And we'll say that, because that's just balanced. We all remember your time as a fan favourite racer. Yeah, and that's going to improve them a little bit more. So he's done some great little bit of driver morale boost there. And I'm hoping some sponsors will come in before the next race. I'm going to get right on. We need to improve our engine. It's 12th best on the grid, which isn't great, actually. So, and it's crucial at the next race, so rip. But yeah, before I do anything, I would like to... the way it works in Motorsport Manager, you splash the cash to make the cash. We'll go ahead and continue now. Hopefully we will get some sponsor requests, because that will massively help us in the pursuit of the title. Also, I've learnt, at least with the old Fire mod, there was a weird bug where sometimes the game could crash after putting on a sponsor. I think it was because I clashed the mods, possibly. But just to make sure, before I put on sponsors to the car, I will make sure that I save it. Because I have lost some progress before from that. Driver's in form. That's nice. A report from our assistant, 0% chance of rain, pretty average. Very high-speed circuit, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a shame for us. And now, sponsors, we've only got... what's our current target? They're both money sponsors, so... I don't know. Unfortunately, we're never going to get second or above, and they're not going to pay us anything else. So I'm not going to accept RBS just yet. Kenwood, there we go, 4.3 million in the bank straight away. That's lovely. Let's have a look at that on the car. I can't see it on the car anywhere. We've got PlayStation as well that are sponsors. I don't know where Kenwood will be somewhere on here, but there it is, on the door. The sponsor slots are changed by the game a touch, which is probably why that happens. We've got 3 here. We may as well go with Iveco, because 18th or above, they make the trucks actually, don't they? We'll go with them because that's an absolutely wonderful deal, that. 6 races, 630,000 per race. An 18th or above shouldn't be any issue. Let's have a look on. There you go, it's gone next to the door, look. Slot number 6, then we've got a number of different companies we can choose from. Now, I'm not going to go with this one because we can only choose one target position sponsor. And then I've got a choice of whether I want to go with this company or this company. So we've got 1.5 million for 9 races, or 230,000 per race for 10. I'm going to go with this one because we could do with a few more per race sponsors, because per race is what's going to really help funders. And then this one, I'm going to have to wait until that refreshes. It will refresh after we pass the next race. Because there's no way we're ever finishing second or above, really, unless we get lucky with strategy. So next up, we'll just keep going now. We're going to actually get we're going to design a new engine, which should be good. We've also got a new sponsor by the looks of it. Here we go, 14 million upfront payment. I'll accept that. Boom. That's nice. That has saved us quite a lot of little time then. Our current engine is better. However, I don't want to do that because it's reliability. We'll put it on full reliability to see if it does turn out to be better. But I somehow don't think it will. I don't think that the reliability will be quite good enough by the time we go there. So we're at Dubai now. Is our engine still the worst on the grid? Also, yeah, it is. We've got to remember, if we want to try and design 2 of each part to give to 2 different drivers, that's how it works in this series. For now, we'll just try and max out everything. So we're going to go to this race. I don't think we'll do that well, unfortunately, because it's a high speed. You can see their top speed is crucial. We can't, anywhere where top speed is crucial. In fact, the next race where top speed doesn't matter is Ardennes. So we might be in a bit of trouble. So I think we are going to immediately, right away, let's go ahead and build ourselves yet another engine. Because the way it works, you have to build multiple iterations of each part before you can start hitting certain amounts. We've got really poor reliability on that, but we'll have to just leave it. And it will take a while to upgrade. Obviously, I don't know how long we're going to stick with Nissan, but I'll try and stay with them for quite a while if we can. Rip. I just dropped my coaster on my keyboard. I did that thing where it sticks to the glass of water. Right. We'll choose Iveco. We're still going to lose a bit of money, sadly. Even with the bonus. In terms of parts, we're going to keep both the parts equal for today. By the looks of what our driver report was, actually, they're on equal status. So that's the thing. Because they're equal status, we do have to give them pretty much equal cars. That reliability is not quite high enough, so I'm not going to give them the engine yet. We'll go ahead and click continue now. And we'll have a look at what we've got. We've got soft and medium tyres. They're the 2 that are available. And obviously inters and wets, but there's not going to be any rain. It's Dubai. So we'll go ahead and race into practice. So we'll try and get a setup nailed. And we'll see what we can do from there. 9 rounds. Okay, there's 9 rounds. I don't know why I thought there was 8. Let's just get 9. There you go. We'll get round 9 up there. And yeah, this should be pretty good. Actually, you know what? I don't think I can get. I don't know. I don't want to put in I wouldn't mind putting in what season we're doing. No, what motorsport we're doing. But never mind. This Ronnie Quintuelli, he's got great form at the moment and really high feedback level, which is good for setups. Now, what we want to do is basically, for now, all we've got to work on is the mechanic's recommendation. We have also got weight balancing, ballast, which can happen. We get ballast to put on the cars in GT racing, and it can help. I don't know how to change. How do I change my cornering stat? There we go, and that can go like that. And we'll get feedback from the drivers about how this setup is. By the looks of it, they're both going to have very similar setups. Hang on a minute, it's a 38 lap race, and mediums go for 38 laps. We could potentially just do a 0 stop then. We'll definitely train them more on the mediums then, because we could just do a 0 stop. But saying that, looking at the speed of the softs, it might benefit us more to do a soft and then soft and just do a 1 stop. And we can go proper aggressive, because they're actually super softs. So I think we'll do that. We'll go super aggressive on it, because I think that'll benefit us more. We want to make sure the handling is within. There you go, within that, and we'll get. Also, Quintarelli actually has better tyre wear than our other driver, so he could potentially make a 1 stop work. So maybe this is what I like to do as well at the start. I like to test things out. So if we do a 1 stop with one driver and we do a 0 stop with another driver and see which one works out best, I can then take it into the next season's Dubai, as long as the rules are the same, because rules can change season to season. It's very common in Motorsport Manager, you have votes and things. It's really cool like that. And it depends on how it'll all turn out. But right now, we'll just stick them both on 12 laps of race trim. One on the medium. We'll stick them both on the mediums. And then we'll stick both of them on the softs and qualifying trim later on. So right now, we'll just stick it into times 12. And we'll let them get a little bit of practice in. There's our car look. Actually, I do need to take a screenshot for the thumbnails of these videos, because at the moment I don't actually have a suitable thumbnail. So if I pause it maybe and then bring it out like that, can I hide the HUD or no? We'll keep it like this. That's a pretty good thumbnail. There we go. And now underway we go. So times 4 I'll do for now. Quintarelli got out first, so we'll have a little look at what he's doing today. So he started his first lap, and we'll have a little look. It's a pretty nice little circuit this. They're all fake circuits, obviously. There's no real-life F1 tracks. However, they are definitely modelled, some of them, on the real-life circuits, because you can tell. Particularly the Japanese race in this, the Japan GP. That's very similar to Suzuka, which is where F1 race. Because obviously, remember, this game was initially built around single-seater racing. The GT series, which is this, and the endurance racing are both add-ons that I happen to have. So at the moment, we're actually the slowest cars. For race trim, I like to just stick them in normal. We can later, if we want, put them up into attack and overtake mode and things. I like to wait a little bit. Quintarelli, I can tell from the start stats, look like the better driver, and you can already see here, Sasaki is right at the bottom, and Quintarelli. You know, but saying that, considering we're the 6th best car on the grid, we're not showing it. This car doesn't appear to be that good. It could obviously be the setups as well. The setups are most likely going to be very dodgy. Oh my word! I didn't realise how short practice was. I thought it was like a 25-minute practice. We've got really short practice sessions, so we'll have to bring them in and try and work on a setup later. And we'll just get them on the softs now to get some soft knowledge. We've got level 2 on the mediums and the race trims. We can try and get level 2 if we can, but I somehow doubt it. Now, setup knowledge, they've got quite a decent bit of setup knowledge. I'm just going to move all this like this, and then let the cornering just sort of move naturally, and hopefully that's enough. I'm not the best at setup tuning. You can save a setup once you're done with it. We'll send them out on softs now. And we can get Quintarelli on softs as well, once we sort out his setup. I reckon the handling needs to go 1 notch that way, and maybe the speed balance like that, and then like that maybe? I don't know. I'm not very good with the setup tuning, but again, it's just trial and error really, the setups, and then until you learn what a decent setup is. Obviously, I've never ever controlled this team before, so I don't really know what each driver and everything is capable of. Now, we're not going to bother sticking them onto like max fuel mixture and things. I'm just going to let them sit like this. And as you can see right now, remember we did qualify on the our first lap was on the medium, so we will be quicker on this new set of tyres, the softs. You can see already there we went 5th. Quintarelli had an absolute banger of a lap. They've got a second lap though to do something cool, because Sasaki's really disappointed actually. They've got equal cars, remember, so they shouldn't be too different. But looking at the drivers, Sasaki was, as I said, much lower down. You can see Quintarelli's gone 5th and Sasaki has gone 21st. So that's really not impressive from Sasaki, but hopefully we can make amends for that in the race. Hopefully. I'm hoping this weekly stream series will turn out quite good. I'm hoping everyone enjoys it. Judging by the support on the straw polls and things, I think they could be quite good. But you can see there, look, he's a second off the pace, Sasaki, which is a lot. A whole second. It's really not good. What? Does the Dubai track here suit the Nismo or something? They're looking like they're going to get a good result. Are you sure? And someone commenting on Quintarelli saying he was good. So as long as we finish 18th or above, we'll get some of this. We'll get qualifying trim and super soft tyres. We only got level 1, sadly. But it's better than nothing. Setups, we still didn't really nail the setup. Again, another reason for him being slow could have also been the setups. You've got to also remember that. So he was previously very upset, and he got better when we moved it the other way. So we'll move corner even further that way. Handling went from okay to poor. So handling, we want to be further that way. And speed balance, we preferably want to keep the same as much as we can. But unfortunately, I actually can't do that. Because of the settings, I can't actually tweak it enough. There we go. How about that? And then, so if I can do, I can change the tyre pressure. No. I want to keep the speed balance the same, but I also want to change cornering, and I can't do both. Unfortunately. There we go. That's probably the best compromise we're going to get. So we'll go ahead and click continue on there. That's his setup sorted. Actually, Quintarelli had a worse setup, so that's definitely no excuse from Sasaki for being so bad. The cornering, again, wants to be more towards high speed. Handling, more towards the way. It's quite difficult to do a setup like this, because the car doesn't really allow it. But that's probably the best I can do there. There we go. I'll try that for a setup on Quintarelli. Both of them are going to be on the softs for qualifying, obviously. And we'll go ahead and start qualifying now. And yeah, I mean, judging by... We're actually half hour into the stream, so I don't know how many rounds we're going to get to do per stream. I'll have to see. Right, we'll send them out then. With a little bit of gap between each other. I like to put it on auto. The whole slow down and go quicker thing. Because generally, the computer probably knows a lot more than me when it comes to getting the brake temps and tyre temps perfect for a lap. So we'll concentrate on Sasaki, because he's currently in first place. No, not like as in ahead of the other one. Both of them were overheated and good, so no, the computer didn't do that good of a job of it then, but never mind. Away we go. So Sasaki starts his lap first. Then Quintarelli, they're on maximum attack now the whole time. I can't change that because it's qualifying, so we'll just let them get on with the job in hand and see what they can do. So at the moment we've got green plus 322 and Quintarelli green plus 206. So that's the time to first place. The delta, so first place was 3 tenths ahead of Quintarelli at that point. Obviously it will go up each sector that happens, and obviously it will change the more people set better sectors. Currently Farfus is on a purple sector, but whoever these Whitman and Farfus, the BMWs, yeah, the BMWs are looking strong at the moment. But Quintarelli is actually only 2 tenths off the lead, despite already being 2 tenths around the lap, so that's pretty decent. We should get 2 qualifying runs if we're quick. It's a very short qualifying, it's a very short lap there, no, very long lap. So I don't know what we're going to do. Quintarelli actually goes second, however the next BMW is just about to cross the line. I reckon he'll get first. Yep, the BMWs have absolutely dropped us. I will go for a second lap. You know what, there's not time for a second lap, is there? Ah, it's a shame. Yeah, there's absolutely no time for a second lap. Because the lap time is 1 minute and 48, and they have to get back out. We've already hit 1 minute 48, so we're not going to send them out again. Because there's no time. Setup is looking really nice. Speed balance, unfortunately, the Quintarelli is still a little bit off, but I can't change his speed balance because of the settings I've got plugged in here. I'll see if I can do something a little bit there, but then that changes the cornering. There we go. That's probably the best I'm going to get there. And we'll send them out again on the same set just so we can test them out. Basically, that means that for the next session, I will know how good his setup is. I won't get a time from them because of how little time is left. Handling has been poor. The handling, unfortunately, of this guy. There we go. We'll try that, and we'll just see how it ends up. Send him out on the same set of tyres again. They're not going to be able to set another lap, sadly. But I just want to make sure. Yeah, I think they're going to run out of time somehow. Quintarelli's in first. No, they run out. In the end, Quintarelli qualifies 11th. Sasaki's actually at the back of the grid, despite having a fairly decent setup. So the BMWs have destroyed things. But oh my words, I think immediately the first port of call for us is to get a new driver. Oh my word, is Sasaki poor. He's really bad. Okay, we're definitely going to try the aggressive 2-stop. No, the aggressive 1-stop with Sasaki. What on earth? It's raining? I thought there was a 0% chance of rain. That's what the game told me. Okay, it looks like we'll be starting on Inters then. And going to a set of super softs instantly. It looks like that's what we're going to be doing. So we'll start on Inters and then we'll move on to... we'll move over to softs, which should hopefully go full race distance by the time... well, yeah, they should go the remaining race distance by the time the wet period is finished. Setup is actually not looking too good. However, Sasaki, yeah, this is still his best setup. So if I can try and move cornering back, that'll put his setup a little bit up. Perfect. And we'll start him on... I don't know, the game's still recommending we start on softs, but I think we should start on Inters myself. And the setup for Quintarelli is lovely. So this is the setup we'll save. So I'll call it Dubai GP. No, Dubai GT Cup Nismo Racing. That's what I'll call it. So I'll go ahead and confirm that. And we can just get on with it now. So we need to make sure, yes, Inters. Make sure he starts on Inters. The Inters can go full race. However, as you can see there from the weather indicator, it's looking like we'll only be on that for maybe 15 laps or something. I don't know what the AI is thinking. If the AI... I like to start and push and high. I don't like to go on to overtake though, because that seems to make them have bad starts. Setup's looking good for both drivers. So I'm all fine with that. Well, they don't suit the current weather condition. Are you sure about that? And looking at our grid position, you can see literally everyone is using softs, which has really, really surprised me, actually. Apart from a few cars at the back on Inters. I mean, I cranked up the AI driver level to match just the default, and I made sure, I don't know, the strategy is just on normal. It's not on easy, it's not on hard, it's just normal. So the AI shouldn't really be having poor strategy calls that often, but it looks like, you know, a good half of the field here, all of which are actually starting at the front half of the field, all the top 10, apart from, actually no, 7th and 5th are also, but yeah, you can see there Felipe Nasser, Augusto Farfus, all of them are all starting with some pretty bad ratings, but I guess we'll just go. The game is saying that we're wrong to choose Inters, but personally, I think we're okay. What on earth? Oh, it's a rolling start, yes. So that's the thing, you've got to remember as well. We have to have a whole lap of the track before we start. And during that time, the track will get wetter. So, I honestly don't... I don't understand why on earth you wouldn't fit inters. You can see clearly from the weather, from the water level, that inters are definitely the preferred option, I think. But never mind, I don't know, the AI strategy might pay out, my strategy might pay out. We'll go on ×2 for the start here. And it's a rolling start, so the pace car's pulled in, and green flag, green flag, green flag. Away we go for round number 1 of the GT Cup here. And up into 10th place, up into 9th place here. It looks like all the cars on dry tyres are maybe struggling a little bit. I have no idea what they're doing. We're into 8th. Sasaki is actually still at the back, so maybe not the... I don't know, maybe it is just how good Quintarelli is, but I have a feeling all these cars on dry tyres are actually going to have to pit. So I'm going to whack both of them onto, like, massive attack to try and make sure that we can do something. The race physics here in this game, they're not always the best. You can see here, look, there's been some massive accidents here because they're on dry tyres. Oh, come on. Okay, Sasaki's just crashed into someone. It hasn't cost him any park condition, but he may get... In fact, he's actually binned his tyres. Oh, my word, Sasaki, please help me. I do not like him at all. Right, pit. No action taken, luckily, but he is going to have to pit for some new tyres. All the cars on dry tyres, on the other hand, are doing good. And, oh, come on, Quintarelli's just hit someone as well. Oh, you're kidding me. He needs some new tyres now as well. Oh, I thought we had such a good start the race by picking inters and everything. Oh. And he'd passed the pit line as well, so he has to do a whole lap on poor tyres, Quintarelli, before he can pit. Oh, that is such a shame. That is so annoying. I thought we had a strategy in the bag. Look, all the cars that started on inters have got a massive lead now. I really thought we could have done something there, but I guess not. In fact, Sasaki is now ahead of Quintarelli. That's how bad his start was. We'll go medium to help them save some fuel. Oh, that was such a shame for us. I'm not happy about that, but we push on. Hopefully we can gain some time on those ones, those cars who started on the dry tyres. You can see how wet it is out on track right now. It's really not a good condition for the dry tyres, and we should just go soaring past those on those tyres. You can see some cars are actually pitting. You can see, look at that ahead, because right now this is the wettest the track's going to get all day, so I think it's pretty unbelievable really that they haven't, you know, the fact they start on dry tyres has really cost them. They haven't pitted, and they probably will go to the end maybe, but again, softs it is a stretch to make the softs last a race distance, so it's such a shame for us though, because we could have done so well. Sasaki's actually back into 7th, but still 30 seconds behind the lead pack, so not the best. And Quintarelli's following him through here, up into 10th place for Quintarelli, and Sasaki's into 6th now, so we are now, because both BMWs started on the dry tyre, so they've gone massively back in the field. I don't know why they start on dry tyres. The rain is still here. It hasn't quite phased out yet, so I was massively shocked at that. I want to conserve now, conserve and low for both of them. So I want to save fuel. I want to make sure that the tyre temps stay okay, because, you know, right now, unfortunately, we put ourselves in a position where we're not really going to be able to get any higher than where we are now. It's just about basically doing the best we can against the cars that are on dry tyres and have messed their race up, because if we can try and get a full pit stop on them, then it'll really benefit us. Particularly Sasaki's doing really well, obviously because of Quintarelli had to obviously do a whole lap with bad tyres before he could pit, because he literally had the crash just as he was passing the pit entrance. So I couldn't send him in time. It's still quite wet out on track. I don't think that these tyres are going to last quite as long as they said they would. They've only lasted like 9 laps. Actually, no, maybe they could last as long as the game says they could then, but right now, as I said, I mean, actually, Sasaki just set a personal best while conserving his tyres, so you can see how badly it's affected these people, this dry tyre. We're actually coming up to lap 24th with Sasaki, so yeah, I mean, at the moment, we've almost got an entire pit stop on them with Sasaki, so I can't believe, you know, the mistake they've made. It's just unbelievable. The AI wouldn't, you know, the AI don't normally do something like that, and I really could have capitalised on it. If I hadn't had to pit, I probably would have been, you know, with Quintarelli, he probably could have been second or third. And he wouldn't have been 30, that's what you got to remember as well, even though we're 6th, we're 30 seconds back. It's a long gap, that. Can we explain how he just ghosted through somebody then? Nakajima just set a purple. He's on, I just wanted to check they weren't on dry tyres. The rain has now stopped. We can double stack them, I think, because there's quite a large gap between them. There's 11 seconds between them and it's a 12-second pit stop, so if we tell Sasaki to start pushing and we tell Quintarelli to just continue backing off, then we should be good enough apart. We're not going to have any more rain after this, I don't think. This is where people on dry tyres are also going to start coming back as well. This is where the wet tyres are going to start getting a little bit worse. You can see there, actually. Do we pit Sasaki? They've still got a bit of a lap left. I think we pit them now. Onto... Oh, I want to put Sasaki on mediums. I'm going to be safe. I'll put Quintarelli on the soft because he has better tyre wear, but I'm not risking anything. And we'll do a fast pit stop as well to help minimise the double stack. And then we'll go softs, because Quintarelli, his softs should last long enough. And we'll do a balanced pit stop. And there we go. So both of them are now good. We can go ahead and click back up and low for both of them now. And then put them on neutral, ready for their next set of tyres, but the fuel will keep neutral for their in-lap. So Sasaki comes in. He actually had a really good lap then because he was pushing. So Sasaki's in for his stop. Hopefully no mistakes. We can just, you know, do double stack perfect. Oh no! Quintarelli did have to wait a short while there, about maybe a second, 2 seconds. At least there was no mistake. And we're actually out in 7th place. That's how bad they messed up. That's how badly they messed up, those teams that put on the dry tyre at the start. We've actually, only the BMW has been able to stay ahead of Sasaki. So I think that's nuts, I do. And the rain has actually stopped now as well, so the soft tyres are getting quicker. Unfortunately now the cars on dry tyres might start overtaking us, but they have got quite warm tyres. So hopefully that's not the case. Because remember, we're not the fastest car. We were only up there thanks to strategy, and I could have been even further up. I'll just save the game quickly, since we're in the middle of the race. I fancy saving it. Make sure nothing goes wrong. I'm not facing a game crash. Ever. I'd rather not have that 45 minutes into the stream, but there we go. So yeah, Sasaki's doing pretty good. Quintarelli, I mean, roles reversed, really, from practice and qualifying, when Quintarelli was the one who was really bossing things. Unfortunately, I think it was probably to do with when he got that puncture at the start, thanks to the collision that was, I don't know, it was deemed, I think, no one's fault by the FIA, but yeah, we're actually back to 8th place now, unfortunately, with Sasaki, because his true pace is showing now against the cars that are on the better tyres and just, you know, in the better cars, really, because none of the guys, all the top sort of, like, you know, NASA, Yamamoto, Farfus, all of them should be leading the race right now. The only reason they're not is because of the poor strategy at the start. You can see that everyone's setting PBs at the moment, which is nice. But everyone on Inters has now pit, actually. So we've gained quite a bit of time. You can see now, look, we're just 39 seconds from the leader, but yeah, from here we can go to the end. And you can see, look, it's because we made that second stop. We're the only team, we're the only people in this whole race to have made 2 stops. Sadly, that's just how it's panned out, really. There's no water really left on track anymore. We'll go times 4 on the speed right now, because there's not much in the way of strategy we need to do now. Maybe, do we get points for fastest lap in this? I don't think I can tell. Can I? I don't know. I don't know whether you get points for fastest lap. If you do, I will of course try for it. That's almost certain. You can see there, it's because we only managed to go Sasaki went 1 lap, you know, on his first set of tyres. That's the issue. Luckily, people like Farfus and Yamamoto, they are going to have to pit again. Those softs are not going to last the whole way, because I reckon softs could go a whole race distance. I think he must have locked up Quintarelli, because he's just suddenly lost a ton of tyre wear, that's what often happens. He set like a purple and a green there. He set a pretty good lap, 151.8, so not the best, but pretty decent. Sasaki again also doing, as the track fully dries out now, the track is now fully dried out and the track grip will start to rise as we get further into this. You see Sasaki is just continuously posting better laps. Still not as good as the ones Quintarelli was posting. He's actually up into 11th place now, so he's made some wonderful progress. I'm going to chuck him on to conserve though, because his soft tyres do heat up more than the mediums that Sasaki has on board. You can see there, look at that, Sasaki just continuously setting better pace pretty much every lap now. There's the BMW of Wittmann setting a purple lap there on used tyres. So it's showing how quick that BMW is, clearly. But Quintarelli up in 11th now. Not bad. If you can get past Dillman and Nasser, then that'll put us behind Sasaki. Obviously, all these guys are going to have to pit, but Farfus has now got 10 seconds on Sasaki and 20 seconds on Quintarelli, so I don't know how that's going to pan out. Might not be the best. It's quite a long race, this, actually. It's a very long circuit, and it's 38 laps, so actually Sasaki just set an awesome lap then. His tyres must be like perfect right now, I guess. I think the track grip is starting to rise now as well by quite a lot, which is improving that, obviously. No rain to come, I don't think, by the looks of it. It looks like we will be dry to the end of the race. How's Quintarelli's tyres doing? By the looks of it, they can last until the end. We can stick him on high fuel, actually. And Sasaki's tyres can also definitely last to the end. If anything, I probably could have put him on a set of super softs as well. Sasaki's not actually that bad at tyre wear, really, despite, you know, his estimated tyre wear being much higher. But unfortunately, now it's about keeping this. Remember, we want to try and finish 10th or above, which will be easy. Obviously, only the top 10 spots get points, so if we can get in the top 10 now with both our drivers, I'd be very happy. In fact, just as I say that, Farfus and Nasser, both of them really ran to the limits of their tyre wear there. And as you can see, as the cars that started on the dry tyre pit, we've made up a lot of time. And Yamamoto has also gone a bit too far there. In 6th, so Sasaki and Quintarelli might both get him, actually. So it's looking like we're going to have decent points here. Currently we're 6th in the championship. Obviously we could have said we were aiming for 6th, but I went for 10th just to be safe, to make sure we didn't get sacked. Obviously I'd rather be a little unambitious. I don't know what to call it, but I'd rather be a bit more like that for my first season. We're currently in 6th and 7th, and Dillman and Nielsen and Pizzitola and Vantor all need to pit. So the first person that can catch Quintarelli and Sasaki is Farfus, the BMW, and he's 10 seconds behind. So he's got 10 seconds to make up to get to Quintarelli, and then another 5 on top of that to then get to Sasaki. So, but remember, they are on fresh tyres, so it could have a bit of an impact, that, depending. I'm surprised Dillman hasn't pit yet. His tyre wear and things are right on the cliff of, 17% is properly on that cliff, so I think Dillman will be coming in this lap, or not. That's his choice. Poor strategy maybe from BMW, but actually no, he's not BMW, is he? He's Renault. Look at that, it's a really nice Renault car actually. They're all custom models. You know, the people who made this mod, the link to the mod is in the description and in the title, of course, showing how good it is. But it's amazing. Sasaki's still improving his laps. Quintarelli did set that like one blistering lap, but hasn't really been able to do any better. Can I actually view best laps of people? It doesn't look like I can. Quintarelli's still got perfect form, but not really showing a lot of it right now. We can just stick it on times 12 for now, I think, to the end. Is Dillman? There you go. Finally, Dillman breaks into the pits. They've gone very long, the Renaults, on their tyres. I think that might have cost them a bit of time, really. Farfus is now closing. Actually, he's not. He's actually dropping. He's not really going anywhere. Doesn't look like Sasaki is improving on his gap to the car ahead. There's no mechanical issues by the looks of it, which is great news. There you go. Farfus has just set a purple lap time, so he's absolutely flying. Lorenz Frey has just retired from 5th place, so that's some extra. That's some extra points for us. Then looks like an engine failure from the Lexus Racing car there. So that'll put us up into 5th and 6th now. So that's a little bit of extra points after that retirement, which is nice. Sasaki's setting some right good laps right now, and Quintarelli also just set a personal best. The track grip is starting to rise now, very slowly. It does here at Dubai, but. And also, some people are having to do a pit stop for repairs. No one ahead of us. It doesn't look like anyone ahead of us is going to have to pit. I think all our tyres are going to last till the end, pretty much. If it wasn't for the rain, we probably could have done a 0 stop today, actually. I'm going to have to watch Farfus, though, in that BMW, because he could steal a few points away from us, I have a feeling. Because our car, you know, the BMW is a lot quicker than our car, so it wouldn't surprise me if that happened. Obviously, they're on much fresher tyres as well. Particularly Quintarelli's on a lot worse tyres than him, so we'll keep an eye on him. But yeah, maybe our 5th and 6th are a little bit doubtful. Some people are only just making their pit stops now, actually. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, I don't know, actually Farfus isn't catching us quite as much as I expected. We're getting some really good pace out of our drivers, actually. We'll set high fuel mode for Sasaki. I want to cool down Quintarelli's tyres just a touch, because I don't know how long they're going to last. According to the game, they can last to the end, but I am not so sure myself. It looks like Quintarelli's also catching Sasaki. Interesting. Now, I'm not going to bother using team orders just yet. I don't really know the drivers. Can I use team orders? Because some drivers have a perk that says you can't do that. That is not either of our drivers' perks. But it does look like I'd rather not try and get Sasaki to pull over, because that's how it does it in this game. One driver pulls over and loses a ton of time. And I'd rather not do that, because Farfus is right there. I really need useful information. I can't give you any. It's not push to talk. Right, okay, Quintarelli has now made the pass on Sasaki. I don't mind. It was done without team orders, so it wasn't done slowly. However, Farfus is really closing on us now. This is worrying. This is worrying for our points. 5th and 6th. Maybe we'll have to drop back and settle for a little bit less than that, it looks like. I don't know, if Quintarelli can try and make a break now. Okay. Unfortunately, our tyre wear is now starting to wear. Our tyres, you know, they're getting worse, and the cars behind us, they're superior tyre wear. I was saying that, did Farfus spin, or did Quintarelli just get a bit of clean air? Because he's actually cleared off Quintarelli, so... Oh! I just saw that. Farfus just won wide. He just ran wide. He's only just rejoined the track now. He's back to 8th place. Well, there we go. That was lucky for us, wasn't it? Looks like Yamamoto is also going to attack Sasaki now. But 5th and 7th, I don't really mind. That's still pretty good. Quintarelli's starting to reach the very limit of the tyre wear here as well. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be finishing in 5th and 7th today. Sasaki, I can actually get him to push his tyres because he's on the mediums and there was a ton of extra life in them. So if we can try and push the tyres, then maybe that would help. We'll push the tyres and not quite attack. But if he can possibly, it doesn't look like he can do anything. Got 1 lap remaining. If Sasaki can do something, it would be lovely, but it doesn't look like he can, sadly. So we're going to come home after the first race, an hour into the stream actually, 5th and 7th. And there we go. Sasaki actually set a personal best on the last lap there. That was really good from Sasaki. I was very pleased with that performance from both of our drivers today. It was a pretty decent job. So there we go. Yeah, that spin from Farford in the end did gift us a position. In the end, we're actually 4th in the Constructors' Championship, which is pretty good. Despite making extra stop, you know, we did pull it off. We had some pretty weird results actually in this race because of how it started. I don't think the Porsche Junior team are quite as good as Campbell finished, but yeah, that was. I mean, I have a look now how good the Porsche Junior team are, but I don't think they're that good. As in winning race quick, I don't think they are. You know, honestly, that bit of wet weather at the start was really interesting. It really threw something into that. So next up, the next race we'll go to now. That was amazing. And then obviously they also do a check to make sure we're not breaking any rules. You can break rules with parts in this. I haven't broken any rules personally. I don't think anybody actually received any penalties, did they, for bad parts? No, so no one lost any points for the parts, so it all finished as it should. 5th and 7th for us in the end, so not bad. Not bad at all. We finished 18th or above as well, so we got a little bit of team bonus there too. Yeah, that wet weather at the start really did change some things up, didn't it? That was pretty amazing. Didn't expect that whatsoever. Right, we'll let Motorsport Manager load ourselves back into the menu now, and we'll try and make ourselves a new engine, because that is a massive weak point for us. Traits, what traits have we got? Top 5 result. They're very happy about their top 5 and top 10 results respectively. Lovely. They have also improved their relationship with their mechanic. Their form is also pretty decent. And our chairman is well happy with that. So we did lose a little bit of money. We are at the moment losing money at the moment. We do need to get some more money from our sponsors. But we've got 18 million, so it's no worry. Obviously, I took a lot of the payments straight up from the sponsors rather than getting them race by race, which is the reason for that. But we're only, you know, I've lost a lot worse than that in Football Manager, you know, in this, so it's not too bad. We'll have a look at pit crew quickly. Also, they're being auto managed. Actually, I don't really want to auto manage them. Let's do it ourselves. Let's do the pit crew ourselves. So we'll have a quick look at the pit crew. And see what everyone's... Actually, yeah, they did a pretty terrible job of auto management there, didn't they? There's some people on the front jack that could be doing a whole lot better. So our pit time has actually gone up quite a bit there. At the moment, we've got the 8th best on the grid. Porsche have actually got the best pit crew on the grid, so maybe they are a pretty decent team. And then we've got someone on the rear jack who's pretty awesome. And then tyres, we've got no one decent there. No one's tired, but I will try and recruit someone who's good on tyres. They go 15 on the tyres. Let's recruit that person, and we can slot them in right away to someone who's a bit worse. There we go. 15 on the tyres. If we can get someone else who's a 14, there we go. We could do with better pit crew, really, but best we can do right now. 10.53 second pit stop at the moment. We'll think about renewing contracts in a little bit, a few races time. Park condition was not an issue for us, which was nice. Got an interview from 11 Sports. Furious after the race, claiming that we let his tyres run down. What? That wasn't true. I apologise, I guess. Our chairman's not happy about that. I don't agree with what they're saying there, but I can't ignore it, sadly. And actually, I think we could potentially stick with the two drivers we've got. Sasaki showed quite a bit of promise. They're both quite old though, so they're probably not gonna gain a lot of as we got told initially. We're probably not gonna gain anything. So I think I am gonna try and hire another driver. We might wait a little bit actually. I'll wait a teeny bit. Next up is the Black Sea Grand Prix, round number 2. So we'll go ahead and click, get that up on the overlay for you guys. And we'll go right over to making sure we're designing a new part, and that engine part will be here in time for the Black Sea GP, which is great. And once the car repair is complete, we can get on with sorting out improving parts. So I want to go to the car. I'm going to head to improve parts. We'll go ahead and improve the performance of these parts for now. And we'll do a little bit on the reliability as well, to help reliability. There we go. Perfect. Okay, off we go then. We'll make our way through these days. The F1's actually at Dubai now. Got plenty of emails. Probably about like training academies, a lot of it. Yeah, just all about training academies. Like, it doesn't really matter for us. It's not really relevant, but it's a very big thing in this fire career mode. You get a lot of emails about it. Looking at that, look, so you can see there we've finished all that. The new engine's not quite finished yet. But I'll make sure to get the reliability of it done, ready to make sure both drivers can have an equal car for the next race. There you go, improve the reliability there right away on that engine. And unfortunately, the engines aren't exactly fair. But, you know, what can you do? I'll try and improve the engine as much as I can to make it fair for people. Make it fair for our drivers. But obviously, there's only so much I can do there. So I think I'm going to give the better car to the better driver, who is Quintarelli, really. He did show it at the end of that race. But the Porsche Junior team, yeah, you can see there, look, their car was 9th best. So they really did outperform themselves there. Thanks to that crazy result we had. Absolutely crazy result. Lexus Racing, you can see they're actually the worst team on the grid, and they were doing really well, some of them, so it's pretty nuts. And SRT Motorsports and BMW are up there with the best. I'd say BMW were performing the best, really, over the weekend. If it wasn't from that mistake from Farfus, though, it did cost them a little bit. We'll go ahead and save it now before going into the Black Sea GP, and we'll get on with that. And then, I don't know, I think we might be able to squeeze 3 rounds into this stream. I don't know. It would be nice if we could do 3 rounds, because obviously it's only a weekly stream. This. Right, go ahead and click continue. Parts. This is going to be a difficult one. We might get some angry drivers here, but, you know, it's what I have to do. He's actually content with it, but he's minus 8%. He's overall minus 9%. And he's overall... Okay, somehow swapping it then makes them both happy. I'm not exactly sure how, but swapping them around like that made them somehow both happy. So we'll leave that. Reliability is actually 65%, so I'm not sure if I trust that. 65% really isn't good enough, so I'm not going to go with the new engine just yet. What I'm going to do is build a new car. Build a new design for the engine. We can only do this one, really, with the upgrades. But there we go. We'll keep that. It's going to take 43 days to make, unfortunately. So it'll be after... Probably won't even be in time for round 3. But never mind. We'll go ahead and continue to the race now. We've set everyone's things up. Looks like we're going to have some heavy rain in quali, unfortunately. It's a bit of a shorter race, this, actually. 50 laps. So the rules weren't very accurate then. Because the rules said, on average, it's a 31-lap race. Didn't they? I'm positive they said that. I'm positive they said that. No? Or is that just me? Or did they... Oh, 44 lap races on average. 44. Is that full race length or not? How do I view that? Because I thought that was full race length. Well, I can't change it now. We'll leave it as it is. But I think, I don't know, that must be half race length, mustn't it? But, so I didn't set full race length. I set medium. Oh, whatever. We'll get into it now. We'll start the race. And away we go to the Black Sea GP. This is like the equivalent of Sochi, I think. I'm not sure how accurate it is in comparison to Sochi. I think it's pretty good, actually, looking at that. Sochi Autodrome, which is where F1 races around over in Sochi, Russia. But yeah, away we go for the Black Sea GP. This is round 2 of 9, and who knows, maybe 50-lap race. Think we can do a 0 stop here, providing rain doesn't get in the way. I don't know. I will see how it goes. Straight away, just onto the initial setup tuning, which obviously, you know, is never the most accurate of tuning, but it's what we've got. This is a bit of an unobtainable setup, honestly. There we go. We'll try our best for that. It does look like we'll do a 2-stop, probably soft, so probably super soft. No, we'll do a 1-stop, super soft, super soft. So there's no need to practice on the mediums. We're probably not going to use them all weekend. So we'll try and get all our knowledge on race. And since it's going to rain in practice as well, no, it's going to rain in quali, I'm just going to do race trim. Because quali, if it's going to rain, it's going to mess us up anyway. So I'm just going to send them out 12 laps and not really bother with them. And hopefully, if their setup isn't any good, we can just tweak it in quali. Fingers crossed. Anyway, hopefully as well, they will get very familiar with their setup. Because obviously practice is very short. I'd rather just not bother with anything for qualifying. Just it's a lot easier, isn't it? I'll stick them on attack and overtake as well for 1 lap to really see what this car is capable of. Maybe we can try and top some of the timesheets, possibly. I don't know. It would be nice if we could, but I don't really know what this car's capable of. Right, and back to normal mode now. Now I know what both cars are capable of. So it's like saying that Sasaki still got 20 seconds, despite the high level of that. But never mind. So yeah, we're just rushing through this, basically making sure we can get full. You know, the full level 3, basically. We can bring them both in now, and we'll just have a look at their setups, and then see if we can get anything for quali trim. Obviously, it's better than nothing. Their setups aren't the best, particularly the handling for Quintarelli. That was not nice. That's not good, that handling level, so we'll have to massively tweak that. Probably completely the other way, and then make sure the speed balance stays the same, like that. There we go. We'll keep that now as his setup. We can go quali, 3 laps, and a set of super softs. And Sasaki. Oh, so we're probably not going to get much quali knowledge, but a little bit of quali knowledge is better than nothing. Really. Cornering, we'll go like that on the cornering, and then just see how the game reacts, I think. Like that. We'll go with that and just see how the game reacts. So he reacts to that. 3 laps and a set of super softs, and away we go. We're probably not going to get much time, really, to do anything, but it's enough. Quintarelli's actually married 7th. Bear in mind that was actually just pushing flat out, though, so maybe that's a little bit misleading, but who knows. It's 1:12 laps. We should get time to set 2 laps in qualifying, hopefully. I'm hoping we'll get the chance to do that anyway. Sasaki here is on a really nice lap, actually, right at the end. And we did get level 1 of quali trim as well. Sasaki still goes last in the whole session, so that was a bit of a poor showing, honestly. Quali trim does still go. There you go. We only managed level 1, but level 1's better than nothing. He's way off the pace, Sasaki. I don't know what happened there. Okay from Nismo. Oh well. We'll see what we can do here. In the Black Sea GP. We're heading out to qualifying now. Remember, they go qualifying, trim, and super softs. 15% performance boost on super softs should really help us. The setup for Sasaki wasn't even that bad, so 82%. on his setup satisfaction, so it's not really got any excuse. We'll set that as the handling. No, the handling needs to go... Yeah, handling needs to go that way. Cornering we went the correct way with. So I want to make sure that stays the same. And speed balance, we can do that. I think we'll keep that. And then go super softs and boom. And Ronnie's setup. Hello, Fishy in the chat. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I'm good. I'm good. Right. And we'll try and make the speed balance stay the same if we can. And the others two, try and get them to move. There we go. We'll keep that like that. Continue super softs. And we'll see what those setups are like. I'll take them in. And we'll see how our drivers can do. See if they're any good. Right, send out Sasaki first, I think. We'll send them out immediately so we can try and get 2 laps in if we can. We might just, because it's a shorter lap than Dubai, I think we can get 2 laps in. Obviously 2 laps is much better than 1 in case there is a mistake from our drivers. Quintarelli's out first by the looks of it. I don't know how our pace is going to be. This is another track where an engine... Actually, Sasaki went better than Quintarelli. That's rare. That's kind of a perfect example. I think Quintarelli might have had a bad lap there. So it's a perfect example of why sending them out twice is a good idea. We're definitely going to get time to send them out twice. How are the setups? We'll have a look at what the setup's like now. Okay, he's actually got a slightly worse setup than before. He's not happy with the cornering. I think we moved the cornering completely wrong. So I'll move it back and then try and level out the speed balance. Like that. We'll keep that. And he can head out again. Quintarelli, he must have a terrible setup because he didn't do that well. Handling, we messed that up. It went from very poor to okay, and we just moved it even further back the wrong way. So I'll do that and make sure speed balance stays the same. There we go, we'll do that and send him out as well. And hopefully with these better setups they've got just enough time. Oh, it started raining! No! That's not good. That means that the lap we set, no. That's a really shame for us. I didn't spot that it was going to start raining. Even if it would start raining and we fitted wet tyres, it would still be slower. So unfortunately, that's a massive shame really, because I think both drivers didn't have the best of first laps. So that second lap we were really depending on to do well. But in the end, it is 23rd and 24th. Oh, that's not good. We should be doing a bit better than that. Obviously, our lack of top speed is going to definitely be a problem here, but I still expected better than that. Oh, wow. Keep up with the race now. Oh, that was good. That was not good. And we lost out on our qualifying bonus as well. Hopefully we can perform a lot better in the race. We are actually starting with some rain. So if the AI decide to be dumb like they were in Dubai and start on the dry tyres, and that will really help me. But for now, super soft and race trim. The setups are all looking pretty good. I'm not going to save one though because we didn't really hit one that was that good. And oh, away we go. Is anyone starting on dry tyres that's going to get messed up? No, unfortunately, it's a little bit more rainy than it was in Dubai, and the AI have had enough sense this time to put on wet tyres. So no crazy strategies are going to be done here. Now I believe that the Inters are going to last most of the race. We'll just sit back and watch them do the little rolling start. Obviously before the start the race happens, we do have a rolling start in the GT series. There we go, 50 laps starting now. And safety cars in and green flag on the Black Sea GP. Away we go. Both drivers didn't really have an electric start, to say the most. I don't know, our fuel sort of burn isn't great. I'll set a bit higher on the rest of it though. It's rain's lagging it out slightly. If I fast forward too much. Someone cut a corner, no penalty given. But yeah, at the moment we're not doing that well. So, oh, Sasaki just found a massive gap. Weirdly, even though Sasaki is by far the worst driver, somehow we are managing to, he's managing to do a lot better. I accidentally just, by the way, the sound cutting was me accidentally clicking off the tab. A few people are actually locking up, and actually someone's crashed. 2 people had a little collision there. They might get some penalties. If we are going to have some penalties, it would massively benefit us if everyone else. However, obviously, if we get involved in crashes like we did at Dubai, then that will be the opposite. So we'll see what we can do. Yep. So someone 2 cars actually did get given a drive-through, so that saved us. That's given us a few extra positions. 18th and 21st. Quintarelli did not have the best of starts, but Sasaki's done pretty well. I'm proud of him for that start. It doesn't appear we have much in the way of pace here, unfortunately. It really doesn't look like we have much in the way of pace. But we've got to rely on cars making mistakes, really, I think. That's what's going to get us, like, people crashing. That's what's probably going to get us the best. Quintarelli is now coming through the pack, finally. So he's decided to make an appearance at last. Quintarelli actually passed Sasaki there, so maybe he's on a charge now. I think, yeah, I don't know, Sasaki seems to be a good driver, but it only shows through every now and then. So it doesn't show through all the time. The weather forecast was totally wrong about this race as well, I mean. Oh well. We need to conserve as well to drop our tyre temps. At the moment we're 17th and 19th. It's staying pretty much the same. Obviously we need to get top 10 to score points. But we should easily finish 10th in this season. I think 10th will not be an issue for us. But as you can see, there are a few cars that got caught out in crashes. 2 cars have already made a pit stop, to be precise. So that's really nice. We did manage to gain a few positions like that. Obviously, as long as we can stay above 18th, we'll still get the sponsor goal. That's what's important to me. Staying above 18th. Looks like the weather is actually going to start dying down. I don't know whether cars might end up trying to pit for wet tyres. Quintarelli's just collided with someone. He hasn't received any damage or any tyre damage, so we're all fine in the end of things. So we're all safe, we're all good. Nothing bad has happened. However, we're just stuck in 18th and 19th, and we don't seem to be able to do anything against our opponents. Really, unfortunately, it doesn't appear we're going to be doing any better than this afternoon. For at least quite a considerable amount of time. The track is currently extremely wet. I mean, so wet that full wet tyres might actually be considered okay. Ricardo Feller has just had an engine sort of blow up there. He's actually already behind us, unfortunately, so it hasn't really changed things for us. But he might end up retiring. But yeah, we're just sitting here in 18th and 19th, not really able to gain any positions, not really able to, we're not losing any either, but not the best for us, is it? Looks like Feller only had mechanical. Unfortunately, both, all the drivers who've had issues have been behind us, and it hasn't really affected us, which is such a shame. It would have been nice if we could gain a few more points from people making mistakes, from crashes, whatever it is. It's probably our best chance this GP, because we haven't really done that good. Weirdly, both Franzoni and Feller decided to use their second pit stop to go on to their first pit stop to go on to dry tyres. In fact, Yamamoto just went on to dry tyres anyway. Personally, I think that's a little too early to be going on to dry tyres. I think they've messed themselves up a little bit there. And he just received a penalty as well. So Yamamoto, he's in a good car, but he's really ruined his race there. Yeah, this rain's not going to go down for a while, so I'm surprised of how early, especially considering the soft tyres will only go 30 laps. So I'm massively surprised by how early some of the AI are pitting. If we can stretch this to like lap 21, we can probably do a one-stop from there. So I'll try and do that. I will say at the moment no one's pitting for wet tyres. No, not wet tyres, dry tyres. Literally almost no one's pitted, so I'm going to wait. Only 19th place has done that so far. You can see there looking at the pit wall. No one on this lap either is choosing to come in. Actually, nope, no cars are choosing to come in, so we'll continue on as well, I think. I think we might come in on this lap here now. I think this lap might be good for us. We can't double stack because the drivers are only 3 seconds apart. So Quintarelli can come in this lap, and his soft tyres should last till the end, hopefully. And then Sasaki after that. Obviously, Sasaki will have worse tyre wear, so that's my reasoning. We can just attack the tyres now because we haven't really got anything left of them. And Sasaki, we'll send him in for a pit stop now. His tyres, super soft, should also just last to the end. They might be a bit tight at the end, though. We'll have to be careful about saving tyres, I think. Maybe if we can get a safety car or something, that might help us. Sasaki's had a pretty good lap here, pretty good in-lap, as the track's drying out. We're actually some of the first people to go on to dry tyres. Or I think, really, I mean, the track's not really wet anymore, so I think we're okay. And the gap between the two of them remain pretty much similar. You can see there at the moment, we're not really catching the leader, but we're not losing time. So, at the moment, our strategy is pretty even. However, this is where it'll be important as to whether we made the right call or not. Actually, I think now, look, this is where that turning point's happened. That's where this turning point is. And you can see here, look, we're actually up into 14th place. So we did do a pretty good strategy there. A bit, obviously, you know, we might get a little bit more tyre wear at the end now. That's the only thing that could potentially be an issue. We're up to 15th and 16th now, which is really nice. Everyone is successfully on dry tyres now. Some cars have decided to go on to the mediums, which I find quite surprising, but you know. But yeah, hopefully, you know, 15th and 16th is pretty good. You know, a few retirees maybe a safety car, free pit stop or something like that. We could do pretty well. I reckon, you know, maybe we can get points here still. We'll keep it on ×4 for now. But yeah, I think we could potentially get points. It would be lovely if we could get points. I'd love it. It would be ideal if we could get some points here today. Track grip is finally going to start coming up now, I think. You know, the two BMWs are leading, so you can tell that last race was just a strategy thing. Pizzitola in the pretty quick Renault. His teammate Dillman's up in 7th, is making his way past Sasaki. I think he might have been one of the ones that pitted like with bad strategy, or maybe, I don't know, that was someone else possibly. I think people like Franzoni and Feller, though, these two, they had mechanical issues and they pitted really early. I don't think those tyres are going to go to the end for them, so they've really messed up their strategy. We're not too bad, really. We haven't done too bad in terms of the strategy. We're back to 16th and 17th now, which is where we were before, pretty much. It looks like Felipe Nasr is making his way past now as well. And Yamamoto, I reckon, will have the pace to maybe get past us here. We're not the quickest of cars out here today. But we're alright. We're not the worst. Could be better. There's no rain at the end now. We're going to be dry till the end. Track grip still isn't coming up properly, unfortunately. We'll have to go low fuel as well, because we've actually burnt a little bit too much fuel, maybe. I'm hoping these tyres will last to the end, but I'm starting to have my slight doubts. We'll have a look at Sasaki. 17 laps, his tyres should go 18 minimum. 17 laps, 19 laps Quintarelli should go. So at the moment, it's looking like our tyres are going to last till the end, hopefully anyway. But I might have to push them, that's the problem. I might have to push them to keep the heat in them, which will then obviously cause a little bit of wear. But yeah, at the moment, I don't know, NASA's struggling to catch Quintarelli. If we can get a fastest lap of the race or something, that would be nice. Yeah, you just set a really good personal best then, Quintarelli, then. That was really nice. That was a proper good lap, that was. No more rain no more rain at all now, so it is just to the end now. Unfortunately, unless I have messed up their strategy, which I don't think they have, I don't think we're going to be getting any kind of points today, unfortunately. I think maybe, looking at this long straight look even, you can tell that maybe straight line speed is very important here. We looked at the start of the season about that, and it was very important, so that could potentially be why we are having these issues here at the Black Sea. We've managed to keep NASA behind with Quintarelli, at least for now. He's on medium, so his tyres will last a little bit longer. Looks like Sasaki is actually getting quite close to being lapped. Those BMWs, look at that. That is so dominant from the BMWs. They've got a 20-second lead on everyone else in the field. That's totally mad. They've obviously done really well there to do that. Sasaki has now got worn tyres. We've only got 5 laps left though, so we're safe. Quintarelli there, improving by 2/10 on his previous best. It's amazing. Our drivers are really doing very well. NASA has now got past Quintarelli, and Yamamoto has just got past Sasaki. Remember, as long as we can keep above 18th place, we will still get the sponsor money. Which is what I care about now, because points, I didn't think we were going to be achievable all race long. Just, our cars haven't had the pace, honestly. It's been very clear that our cars have not had the pace. However, Yamamoto has just made an extra pit stop. He was one of the ones who did pit early, so we got our place back from him. Obviously, all the ones that made the poor pit strategy are paying for it now, because they're having to do 2 stops. So you can see, out of the only people who actually managed to make this 1 stop work, we're pretty much last, which isn't a great sign. We're right on the edge of tyre wear now, but I think, no, we haven't been lapped. Have we not? No, Sasaki has been lapped, but Quintarelli hasn't been lapped, so he'll have to complete another lap before the end. We'll try and set a good lap with Quintarelli here, just attack at the end. Couldn't get a purple lap time, but he still did alright. In the end, we finished 14th and 16th because a few cars did have to make a second pit stop, but sadly, yeah, no luck for us today in terms of points, but we still did manage 14th and 16th, which was pretty good in the long run. That race only took half hour, so we're going to do another round now. We're going to do round number 3 of 9. Let my voice recover. Just to give you an example of how well the BMWs did. Farfus actually had to make an extra stop right at the end there, and he still managed to finish second. It's amazing. Those BMs are so dominant. They're going to do a bit of scrutineering check now. Maybe a few people have broken rules. No, still 14th and 16th in the end. So, never mind, I guess. Oh, well. When did Quintarelli get a drive-through penalty? Wait, what? Is that right? I didn't know it's Quintarelli having a drive-through. We could have done a lot better then if he hadn't had that. He never had a drive-through. Is that a bug? Because they said, I remember him crashing into someone and they said that the decision was no penalty. That confuses me. Oh well. We're still 6th in the championship. Obviously 10th in the championship is our target. SRT Motorsport, who are apparently the best car on the grid, are in 10th. So that's not a great show for them. But yeah. traits there. Top 15 result. Disappointing race, apparently, according to him. We did pretty good for the Chen was happy. However, the drivers were not happy whatsoever with that. Marketability weren't happy with it either. We did lose out on a considerable amount of money from not making 18th in quali, so that was really disappointing for us. We just didn't have the pace. I need to get those engine updates onto the car, really. That's our biggest weakness at the moment, the engine. I mean, if you look at our car, and high-speed corners as well, we're the worst on the grid. So it's what we're really having to make up for. However, I can't build anything right now because that engine is going to be in development for an age. RTL, straight at the back. Oh, yeah, I didn't know he hit someone, but also we'll tell someone to get out of the way, because, you know, make our ones happy. Oh, and Sasaki is listening to offers. Great, so he's not happy with us. Remove fatigued crew and swap them out. It always swaps out the wrong people. It's quite funny, really. Never does a good job at that. There's way better people that could have swapped in and out there, but whatever. And there's actually someone who's 15 on the tyres, so we'll go ahead and hire them. It just removed everyone who I put in, because I was just checking to make sure they were or weren't fatigued. So yeah, it thinks they're fatigued when they're not, which is a bit silly. They don't look particularly fatigued to me. But we'll make sure we can get some good pit crew. Number 3 on the tyres. There you go, that puts us 5th on the grid in terms of our pit crew. In fact, I can actually probably go one better. There we go. So we've got a pretty good pit crew, actually. There you go, performance and reliability work has just been completed. However, I can't at the moment improve that second engine that's in development. We can't do anything with at the moment, unfortunately. So I'm going to work on improving performance for these. And high-speed corners, which is the spoiler. Just to try and make ourselves just, you know, it's the best we can do without building anything new, really. Maybe I shouldn't have gone straight into engine side of things. High-speed corners were a lot quicker to do. Oh, so Munich. So at the moment, replace Vancouver GP with Munich GP. I'd like to keep Vancouver, really. I quite like the Vancouver track. So, don't know. Upcoming votes as well. We've got energy. We've got ERS, simultaneous pit stops, and 9 dry tyres. The 9 dry tyres I don't like. Simultaneous pit stops, it'll be a lot more to manage, but it will mean we don't have to double stack, which will be quite nice. But then ERS, again, maybe I would rather not use ERS, because it's going to add... I'm going to abstain from this vote. But I'm going to abstain from this vote so I can give myself... I'm definitely going to vote against ERS because it's that, you know, minimum cost, look, an extra 1.1 million. I'd rather just leave it. I don't really, you know, we're not the most, you know, we're not the best of team. What's this? We'd like to take time for an interview. No, we're going to have to say it's a distraction because we want Sasaki to be happy. Because at the moment he's actually losing quite a bit of morale, so if we can try and boost that morale by 5, you know, every little helps when it comes to that. So we've got 20 days to the Chinese Grand Prix, which will be the last one I'll do in the stream today, then we'll finish. Politics vote. Okay. I'm going to abstain, for certain. I'm definitely going to. Almost like everyone abstained. That's great. So it's actually been rejected, so we're going to keep the same in terms of that. Our factory staff are idle. We'll get them on some more performance work. I have a cake delivery. Figures out how to open cake. I'll just mute the mic a second. There we go. I'm into the cake. Da, 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 da. Nice. Okay, we'll improve the performance of our brakes, I guess. Car is still apparently 7th worst on the grid. I don't know how certain that is. Yeah, I don't know. You can see there, Quintarelli is clearly the better driver. Right. Continue. And travel to Beijing. There we go. Still haven't got our new thing in place, unfortunately, but never mind. I know the acceleration's not good, Sasaki. I can't help it. Okay, everything's all good then for the race. We'll just do a quick save before we jump in. The game does auto-save throughout, by the way, in case you've been wondering why I haven't actually been saving that often. And continue. And parts. We have now got 2 decent engines. So we can give Sasaki... we'll try and swap these round, they go, to make both of them happy. It's a weird bug, but... You know, it's obviously better like that. So we brought a massive engine update this week, particularly on Quintarelli's car. He's got a little bit of a better engine. So, and top speed is useful. Unfortunately, high speed corners are also crucial, which is another. These are the 2 areas that we're really bad in. So, don't think we're going to do particularly well. I don't think we're going to be able to really do anything that's going to help us win here today. But never mind. It's the best we can do, I guess. It's all we're going to manage. But never mind. We'll go ahead and click race, and off we go. Right, now, just waiting for the game to load. There it is. We've loaded into Beijing. I don't think we'll have any rain here in China. There's none forecast at the moment. I'm trying up a good setup, hopefully, this time. I didn't actually get a look at how long the race was. How long's the race? It would have told me. We've got Ultra Soft and Super Soft. I think we'll be using Ultra Soft. No, I reckon we'll be using Super Soft, personally. I don't know how long the race is, though. I'll have to have a try. I'll try and have a look at how long the race is now. Season calendar. 52 laps. So it's probably going to be a one-stop on... Probably going to be a one-stop on Super Softs. 52 laps, those Ultra Softs, you know, minimum, are only going to go 48 laps. So it's going to be probably a two-stop. No, a one-stop on Super Softs. So we'll only train on Super Softs and race trim, and then we'll try and get a bit of quali trim if we can as well. Although saying that, Quintarelli could minimum do 52 laps on Ultra Soft, but I think I'm going to leave it just to save my time. Right, out the drivers go then. And we'll see what our pace is like around this place. It really wasn't good around the Black Sea GP, but it might be good around China, around Beijing, I don't really know. Fourth, but that's quite quickly becoming bottom of the grid. So, yeah, the answer to that is no, I don't think we have particularly good pace, although this lap is going to be better. No, it was not much better. Okay, it's already very clear that we're not that good. Like last time, really, like the last event, we're really not that good. I don't know. This car is not the 6th best on the grid. There's no way. Maybe it's the drivers we've got. I guess it could be, but yeah, it's our drivers and our car doesn't really show. It's a 1 minute 32 laps, so we might not be able to do 2 laps in quali. We might be able to. I don't know. Right now, Quintarelli's managing 20th, look, so, I mean, obviously, some of the top times are on Ultra Softs, but still, it's really poor. We can bring in our drivers now, take a look at their setups. We might probably won't send them out again. Right, okay, and good. We'll send them out again, just so we can get feedback going into quali about what the drivers think of this setup I'm providing. And I guess we'll tune the setup from there. I won't bother changing the trim, actually, because it's going to take ages. I'd rather get as much time running out there as possible to help them know their setups and to try and get some knowledge on those Ultra Softs that we're going to use in quali, maybe. Handling, we'll try and tick a little bit like that. We'll leave it like that. You see, they're not going to be able to do a lap even. Unfortunately, they're not going to have time, but it's better than nothing. I'll just, we're not even going to get any knowledge on the Ultra Softs, but you can see there, Quintarelli's setup. Wow. That's a good setup. We just nailed that, like, out of the bag. Which hopefully will improve his performance. Because our qualifying performance was shocking. No, not qualifying, no, sorry, practice. I'm glad we selected 10th or better, honestly. Right, well, Quintarelli's setup's wonderful. So I think we're just going to save this setup. And we're going to port it directly over to Sasaki and see what he makes of it, really. So, Beijing, load. And we'll see what Sasaki makes of that setup. I'll say that immediately, literally, like, straight away, to try and get quick, to try and get 2 laps in, hopefully. If we can get 2 laps in, it'd be wonderful. We're going to come out in a little bit of traffic, unfortunately. However, actually, the traffic's probably going to be quicker than us, honestly. Sasaki's actually got the purple... What on earth? Sasaki got a purple first sector there until someone took it off him, but it lasted a good few cars worth. Sasaki, whoa, 1.1 seconds ahead. That was a wonderful time from Sasaki. I don't know where's he got that pace from. There's no rain coming, so we should be able to set a second lap that's fairly decent. Whoa! That pace came out of absolutely nowhere. Does he like the setup? Not massively. It's not his favourite setup, but... Wow. Just wow. I'm amazed, actually, by that. Maybe he likes the course or something. I am properly amazed. Right, we'll send them both out because they have got time for a second run. Just. It's a bit tight, actually, for a second run for Quint. Yeah, they should both make it. Okay. Right, Quintarelli then. I'm looking at him. Definitely looking at him for answers here, because that was a terrible. Maybe Sasaki just did well, but Quintarelli's lap was not good. I think also Sasaki did get a bit lucky, because Quintarelli, look at that, 22nd there, and Sasaki's all the way up in 9th. So Sasaki there showing that he is actually a pretty decent driver when he wants to be. My word. And those SRT Motorsport cars that are meant to be the best on the grid, they're certainly not. Wow. Wow. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that qualifying. Would have been nice if Quintarelli could do a little bit better. But that's pretty amazing. Really. No rain at the moment. So both drivers, it's going to be two sets of... No, one... Yeah. Well, one stop... super soft to super soft, so both drivers love their setup, which is really nice going into this race then. And these would last 32 laps, which will easily be enough for a one-stop. We can actually probably push the tyres that little bit. Everyone else, unfortunately, is actually starting on ultra soft, so we might get a little bit crowded at the beginning compared to everyone else. Might get a little bit full, but like a little bit sort of swamped by everyone who's on the better tyres. But hopefully they'll still be okay. Right, and the pace car is in, and they. Green flag, and green flag. Away we go here for the Chinese Grand Prix. Well, not really Grand Prix, even though, it's with GT cars, but, away we go then. Not have the best of starts, actually, Sasaki. Back to 12th place. I'll have to drop these straight back. Quintarelli's actually maintained 22nd. Actually up into 21st right now, yeah. I think that one-off lap that Sasaki did was just a bit of luck, honestly. I don't think our car really has that pace. You can see he's actually dropping back quite considerably, so I think we did get quite lucky there. He's currently in a battle. He's lost that battle. He's back to 16th place. What a shame. Obviously, we are on the slower tyres, so that's another reason, partially. Vantor has ruined his tyres. Must have had a crash or something. Not linked with my drivers, luckily. Oh dear. So that's one driver with a poor start. We haven't had the best of starts as a team. Quintarelli's maintained his position. Sasaki's fallen all the way back to 19th. Make that 20th actually. So, and there you go. Quintarelli is now actually ahead of Sasaki. So Sasaki's had an absolutely shocking start. Quintarelli's actually now finally starting to pull himself up the field. He's actually into 19th, so not too bad behind the Lotus and ahead of the Lexus, I think that is. But yeah, sadly, just not ideal this race so far. We're back to pretty much last place. Just showing what it is because of the things that are crucial here. The engine power and high-speed corners are both crucial here, and it's what our car is worst at. That's kind of what gives it just an extra blow, unfortunately. Hopefully, if other teams push their cars a little too much, they might have to make 2 stops. And we could just pull off a 1-stop maybe, but that's really our only hope here, is that we can do that, because we really haven't done that well at the moment. We're not doing too good. Don't know why, but we have just had a really poor start to the race, and it doesn't look like it's going to get much better really. 19th and 23rd right now, despite Sasaki's wonderful starting position. We have not maintained that. Shame. It's an absolute shame, really. Right, we're into 18th place now, not bad. And obviously, if we finish above 18th, we do get the sponsor objective, so I would quite like to do that. I'm glad we picked top 10 though as our, you know, like planned sort of finishing place. I'm happy about that. Finally, Quintarelli's actually getting some pace out of this car now, it seems. Franzoni's just crashed, so that's a free little position there. He's somehow crashed into the terrain. I'm not sure how that's possible, but he has. Only a yellow flag. I think that could be a safety car, that really, but it isn't. So we continue on. We're having to conserve tyres as well, because it's got a little bit too hot for our tyres. Quintarelli is actually in 17th now, so he's not doing too bad. Could be better, but still not that bad. So we're currently on lap 16 here. Somehow we just fell back to 18th from 17th. I thought we'd only been passed once, or maybe I just misread it before. Right, neutral on the tyres now. We've got no rain incoming by the looks of it, none at all, which is good news. How are we both in 17th at that moment? But unfortunately, Sasaki is all the way back in 22nd, pretty much back of the field, really, apart from Vantor, who got involved in a crash, and Franzoni, who is DNF'd. So Sasaki is basically last place, and Quintarelli's not much further up the road. So yeah, we really haven't done the best. Farfus has got a massive 10-second lead up in his BMW. Nasser has actually collided with Fella and wrecked his tyres, so that's a little free position for us there. That's nice. So he's going to go into the pits now. Yeah, that free position was nice. We're actually up into 13th place now with Quintarelli. There's a few people pitting a little bit early, actually, I think. We've still got plenty of tyre wear left, but I don't know, maybe the other teams feel that they do not have the same sort of tyre wear. Because I'm alright. I've got 31 laps left at the moment, so these tyres will easily last that. In fact, I am actually going to go ahead and pit now, I think. 31 laps left, these super softs are going to easily last that, so I'll pick Quintarelli. I won't bother pitting Sasaki, because they're a bit close together. And I want to give Quintarelli the benefit, the better sort of chance. There you go. And Sasaki's also going to go on to a set of super softs now. One after that. Quintarelli could have gone on further, but I'm trying to prevent tyre wear if I can. Obviously that will help us massively later on in the race. Trying to prevent tyre wear and maybe get an undercut on some cars. Quintarelli's up into 19th place with that now. Nielsen has just crashed. No safety car. If there was a safety car, that would have really messed up the strategy of pitting early with Quintarelli. So luckily, no safety car. Up into 18th place. We've had 2 retirements now, so a few free positions for us. We can also attack a little bit on this stint with Quintarelli because of the fact that he's got really good tyre wear. Maybe try and go for a fastest lap of the race a little bit later on. Maybe if we cool down the tyres, we can go for a fastest lap of the race right at the end if the tyre wear allows it. Oh, now actually, if we go conserve and low to help bounce out the tyres, maybe we can try and go for a fastest lap of the race. Because that would be really nice if we could. However, Farfus has just set a blistering one, so that might be a little bit impossible. We'll go for one now, actually. Let's just go for the fastest lap of the race now with Quintarelli. I don't know. I don't think our pace is quite good enough for that, sadly, but you can see by pushing we've gained an awful lot of time. But I'm going to have to go medium now. We did pretty well there, but I'm going to have to go back to medium now, save fuel to the end now. And we're currently in 17th, however Nasser is coming back through in his faster car. I'm wondering whether some people might be trying a 2-stop though, because I don't think some of these ultra softs will actually go to the end. I mean, look at, for example, Nakajima. He's only got 45% tyre wear and they're ultra softs, so those aren't going to the end. So we might be able to gain a few sneaky positions at the end. However, saying that, I don't know, the gap we have to the leader looks massive, but you've got to take into account actually that the leader actually has a 22-second gap to second, so take 20 seconds off whatever number you see there is sort of the gap we have to the actual pack. Actually, Yamamoto is also pretty much in no man's land, so I don't think we're in top 10 material here, but I reckon we'll be able to go further than 18th. In fact, Sasaki's actually been lapped, so we can go overtake mode with him for a little bit. And burn up all his fuel. I went overtake mode with Quintarelli for some reason too, but didn't exactly mean to. But never mind. Hopefully Sasaki can use that extra fuel he got from being lapped to good use to try and get past Vantor. In 21st he is right now, so it's not great. Yamamoto retires from 2nd place, so that's another free position for us. 3 retirees now so far, so not the best for them. We're in 17th, however, so I don't know. I still don't think we're in points positions, but a few cars are actually pitting as well. So maybe with cars pitting, we could potentially do even better. Sasaki's actually, I've burned up all his fuel, way too much fuel actually. So at the moment we're in 17th because a few cars have made 2 stops. Sasaki's in 20th now as well, so they're not doing too bad. Thanks to a few cars who had bad pace, and Quintarelli's just been lapped as well, so that's going to enable him to use some of his overtake mode. Oh, Sasaki was just unlapped. I think the leader pitted maybe. And unfortunately that has now meant that Sasaki is massively low on fuel. So someone needs to lap him, otherwise he's really low on fuel. I'll have to go low fuel just in case, but yeah, that's a bit of a pain for us. Currently in 15th place, Quintarelli. I think luckily Sasaki will be lapped before the end of the race and we'll be okay. We're up into 14th place now actually. With Quintarelli. We've got some pretty good tyre wear, but I'm not going to bother. I'm going to push just to maintain the temperatures on the tyres, but I can't go too much. But yeah, at the moment I think 14th and 18th is the best we're going to manage. Looks like Sasaki's just about to get lapped actually, so we can use up all his fuel he's burnt there. Make sure he's used up every single bit of fuel possible. And that's lovely. Okay, now... Oh, I've used up a bit too much fuel on Quintarelli's side of things, though. That was my own fault. Right. Push back the fuel on Quintarelli's side. Apparently he's lost something off the back of the car. Looks okay to me. He's in 13th place, but no points today. I don't think, for Quintarelli, unless there's some last-minute pit stops that occur. From 11th, 12th and 10th places around there. Doesn't look like there's going to be any last minute pit stops now, sadly, so this is the end for us for this race. 13th place for Quintarelli. I'm actually pretty pleased with that, given the fact our car is really not quick. We were just lapped actually right at the end there, but we've got 13th place is safe because everyone else is finished, so even though his tyres have gone off the cliff, we're safe. And Sasaki will come home finally in 20th place. So Sasaki had a pretty poor race there, but Quintarelli, 13th place in what is a pretty poor car, I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. Anyway, that is it for this stream. Once we load back in, I'll just make sure everything's all finished here. Obviously, maybe a few cars broke the rules, and we can gain some spots. And they're still 13th and 20th in the end. Oh, well. We're 8th place in the championship now. We're really not very good, are we? And never mind, there we go. In the end, they're pretty unhappy. Quintarelli's unhappy anyway. Sasaki's actually okay with it. Marketability's down yet again, so it is a shame. We need to do better than what we're doing currently, but the car just does not have the pace. Until we go to a circuit that doesn't require high-speed corners and doesn't require engine, we're pretty much dead. And I think the next circuit of that is actually Vancouver. No, not Vancouver, Ardennes. Nope, that requires high-speed corners. So unfortunately, yeah, you can see there, look, not a single race all season. Sadly, it's just how our car is, really, in comparison with everything else. Got an interview with Sky. And to improve our car's performance level, yeah. Sasaki's still not happy. Right, okay. That is it then for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will leave you with the end screen and the background music. And, well, bye-bye. I hope everyone did enjoy. This will become a weekly series, hopefully. I don't know. Did you guys like it? We had 11 playbacks today, so not quite as much as the flight sim streams. The flight sim streams are always popular, though. And I do have good fun playing this game. Maybe we might end up doing a bit more on a Friday evening instead or something. I don't know. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed. I will leave you with the background music. And bye!